You're not going to rise to your goals. You're going to fall to the strength of your systems. The world is filled with chronic dreamers who believe that intense desire alone is enough to change their destiny. They sit around mapping out grand 5-year plans, sketching visions of absolute financial freedom, and fantasizing about physical dominance. But a goal without an unshakable daily infrastructure is nothing more than a childish delusion. When the pressure mounts, when the chaos of life hits you like a tidal wave, your lofty aspirations will completely evaporate. In those critical moments of absolute friction, you do not rise to the level of your grandest ambitions. You sink straight to the lowest level of your daily training. Your systems are your reality. They are the cold, mechanical guardrails that dictate exactly what you do when you are exhausted, broken, and completely unmotivated. If your baseline system is weak, your entire life is a house of cards waiting to collapse under the slightest bit of resistance. Sticking to an early wake-up every single day, completely regardless of how many hours of sleep you manage to get, is what defines your character. The alarm clock does not care about your bedtime. It does not care if you had a brutal shift, if you stayed up late handling an emergency, or if you only got 3 hours of restless sleep. The dark morning presents a cold, objective line in the sand. Your lower self will instantly start a frantic negotiation, begging for an extra hour, whispering that you deserve to rest. That voice is a cancer. The moment you hesitate, you have allowed external conditions to conquer your internal sovereignty. An exceptional man treats his wake-up time as a sacred, non-negotiable command. You pull yourself out of the sheets because your identity is anchored to the execution, not your comfort. It is that specific choice, when your eyes are burning and your body is begging for ease, that separates the warrior from the casual spectator. The exact same standard applies to your daily training. Sticking to your workout program with machine-like consistency is what builds an unshakable mind. Physical training is never about looking good in a mirror. It is an intentional, aggressive audit of your willpower. When you walk into that gym, when you are completely depleted, when your muscles are sore and your brain is screaming for you to take a day off, that is when the real building happens. You are forcing your flesh to submit to the absolute authority of your spirit. If you only train when you feel energized and happy, you are operating like an amateur. You must fall in love with the grueling, unglamorous friction of the heavy lifting. Moving that iron when you absolutely hate it is how you pound your character into steel. You are creating a biological vessel that is entirely immune to the weak excuses of a soft society. If you are trapped in the endless loop of the corporate rat race, your side hustle cannot be a casual hobby you touch whenever you have spare energy. Working on your secondary vehicle for a fixed, mandatory block of hours every single night is the only path to real liberation. Most people finish their day shift, claim they are completely exhausted, and immediately surrender their remaining attention to cheap entertainment. They are trading their ultimate freedom for temporary comfort. You must treat your side business like a second job where the boss is a ruthless dictator who refuses to accept excuses. Whether it is 2 hours or 4 hours, that time must be completely sealed off from the rest of the world. No phone calls, no social media loops, and no digital distractions. You sit in that chair and you execute your directives with cold precision. Those heavy, invisible hours in the dark are the exact bricks you are using to build your escape tunnel. True sovereignty is defined by the promises you keep to yourself when absolutely nobody is looking. When you give yourself your word that you are done with alcohol, not touching a single drop during a social gathering defines your power. The collective herd is hardwired to seek immediate gratification. and they will constantly try to peer pressure you into joining their degeneracy. They want you to hold a drink because your sobriety serves as a blinding, painful spotlight on their own lack of control. A disciplined man does not bend to the crowd. When you refuse to poison your mind and body just to make weak people feel comfortable, you are demonstrating real dominion over your life. You are proving that your internal word carries infinitely more weight than the collective noise of society. Your sobriety becomes a visual monument to your self-conquest, a declaration that you no longer require cheap chemical escapes to tolerate your reality. This exact same level of savage restraint must govern your nutrition. When you are deep into a strict diet, actively transforming your biology, not walking into that pantry for a piece of cake or chemical junk food, defines your path. The modern environment is engineered to keep you physically inflamed and chemically dependent on processed garbage. Your tongue will crave the cheap pleasure, and your brain will try to justify a tiny slip. But there are no small compromises on the road to greatness. Every single time you open that cabinet and walk away empty-handed, you are winning a high-stakes skirmish against your own weakness. You are showing your subconscious mind that your ultimate vision of a dominant, clean biology is infinitely more important than 10 seconds of sugary satisfaction. You do not view nutrition as a restriction. You view it as the raw fuel required to keep your weapon sharp. How you do anything is how you do everything. Weakness is an invasive, systemic rot that cannot be neatly confined to just one corner of your existence. If you allow yourself to take a shortcut on your diet, that exact same laziness will eventually corrupt your financial decisions. If you allow yourself to miss a morning workout because you are tired, that exact same cowardice will cause you to fold when a real crisis hits your family. You must build an internal fortress that is completely impervious to the shifting weather of your emotions. Feelings are completely irrelevant to execution. An exceptional man does not wait for motivation to strike. He relies on the automatic precision of his systems. You must learn to crave the crushing boredom of daily consistency, executing the heavy tasks day after day, week after week, with absolutely no immediate reward. The path of total obsession is inherently, brutally lonely, and you must learn to take an immense, stoic pride in that complete isolation. The crowd will consistently try to pull you back down into the shallow waters of conformity. They will tell you that you are taking things too seriously, that you need to find balance, and that you should enjoy your youth. Cut those anchors away without a single second of hesitation or guilt. Let the masses waste their time, dull their minds, and fade into total obscurity. While they are celebrating nothing, you are constructing everything. Let your absence be heavy, and let your silence speak volumes. Your separation from society is the ultimate indicator that you have finally chosen the path of mastery. You cannot run with the pack and expect to lead the race. The slate of time demands constant, fresh proof of your commitment. The world does not care about what you pulled off last week, last month, or last year. Your past trophies are nothing but dust if you are sitting on the couch right now. You have to step onto the battlefield with a ferocious hunger to earn your position all over again, completely refusing to coast on yesterday's momentum. Wake up every morning with a sense of aggressive, absolute urgency. Stop letting the weakest part of your brain dictate how you interact with reality. Raise your standards to an elite level and refuse to tolerate a single molecule of weakness within your borders. Fall in love with the friction, hunt the heavy lifting, and treat your life as a sacred mission of absolute conquest. Look brutally at your daily systems right now. Identify every single area where you have allowed your habits to become loose, soft, or uncalibrated. Look at the excuses you tell yourself to justify your lack of progress and burn them all to the ground today. There is no middle ground in this arena. You are either building an unshakable empire of discipline, or you are actively sliding down into total irrelevance. Raise your standards immediately. Demand more from your daily routine than anyone else could ever dare to expect from you. You are the sole author of your own epic, the absolute commander of your own fate. Lock in your focus, silence the noise of the crowd, train your mind to be absolute, forge your body into steel, and keep your soul completely aligned with your highest purpose. Execute your systems with ruthless precision. Hold the line against your feelings and command your destiny until your reality shifts to match your power.